Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Common Sense Crypto Channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today. In this video, we are going to talk a little bit about current events. I'm going to talk about the Fed. I'm going to talk about the U.S. Treasury, the financial crisis that's on the horizon. Because anytime somebody says to you, when is XRP going to hit those high prices? You got to take a look at the events that are happening right now. Because as the current financial system collapses out and they usher in the new one, that's when XRP is going to hit those high numbers. Is the Rhino trying to protect Biden through diversion? Classified documents found at Mike Pence's home in Indiana. Maybe he's trying to pull some of the attention away from Biden. I feel we're seeing a major shift happen in Washington and in the mainstream news. All of a sudden, everyone seems to be turning on Biden. I feel there's a hidden agenda here. Senator Ted Cruz is calling for Justice Department to search through President Joe Biden's papers at the University of Delaware for any classified documents. Some people want justice. Other people are running to Biden's defense. Lindsey Graham rushes to Biden's defense over classified document scandal. And we see here, this is what he had to say. Let me just say that so I've known President Biden for a long time. I don't think there is. I would be shocked if there's anything sinister here. So I feel they're going to try to force Biden out. Then all of a sudden, Harris becomes president. In my opinion, I think we should just keep Biden for the next 2 years and see what happens in the next election. What do you all think? Who wants to bet that Kamala Harris is the president in the next few weeks? Obama's plan for 2024 is unfolding. A lot of people feel that way. And a lot of people are thinking that way. As soon as I seen those documents hit CNN, I said to myself, something's wrong here. They're trying to get him out of office as soon as possible. Now, we're going to talk a little bit about carbon credits because that shows times leading up to the Great Reset. Some families have multiple users. Some families use their console for streaming TV. What is wrong with these companies? Xbox will force gamers to power down to fight climate change. Microsoft announced in a recent news post that it will force gamers into powering down their Xbox consoles in order to fight climate change as part of the company's campaign for building a more sustainable future of gaming. The company announced its intention to become a zero-waste company by automatically switching gamers into shutdown mode to conserve energy. It looks like we're going to see a lot of new PlayStation users in the very near future. Want a new line of credit for your company? Just comply with carbon tracking. Microsoft CEO tells the World Economic Forum that Europe's model of banks examining a company's carbon footprint is one way to reach net zero. So think about it. If you own a small business in the future, you go to the bank to get a small business loan. All of a sudden, they want to take a look at your carbon footprint before they approve that loan. That's what's coming in the future. Wyoming is countering California, stopping sales of new petroleum vehicles by stopping the sales of EVs. So Wyoming is fighting back. They want to stop the sales of EVs there, while other states inside the country are jumping on board with EVs, going with the trend. Concerns about the source of minerals in countries with poor environmental laws, the disposal of the battery, which will be hazardous materials, and the cost of infrastructure is the reason. And I feel that in the future, any gas powered vehicle or parts for a gas powered vehicle are going to be astronomical. Maybe instead of investing in real estate or something else, maybe I'll just buy up a whole bunch of used cars. No, I'm just kidding. Bill Gates warns Australia to prepare for the next pandemic, which could be man made and far more brutal than COVID. Now, I feel if this happens, Bill Gates should be held accountable. He should be held like a serial killer if anyone dies in Australia from a new pandemic. That is absolutely disgusting what he's trying to do. Many of us are carrying less and less cash and realizing the benefits of digital payments. But is a cashless society event realistic? And we know everything is pushing towards a cashless society, little by little. They're even using crime now to get you to go cashless. And I feel that's going to be one of their big selling points for a CBDC. Who wants to use cash when there's so much crime in the world? Convenience, protection against theft, and curated ads. That's the benefits of a cashless society. Now, there's all other benefits as well that they didn't mention in this article. But once we go fully cashless, I feel it's going to hurt more people in the long run. Because there's people that still work under the table in the US, and I'm sure they do the same thing everywhere else in all the other countries as well, to make ends meet, especially when inflation is out of control. Cashless society, big banks prepare to launch digital wallet to compete with Apple Pay and PayPal. Now, I mentioned this in a video yesterday, but I didn't really look at it the way I should have looked at it maybe. Major U.S. banks, including Wells Fargo, Bank of America, and J.P. Morgan, and others, will push into the digital wallet space in the second half of this year to take on Apple Pay and PayPal. But if I feel maybe they're trying to get people used to using digital money, get them away from using cash. This way, when a CBDC comes, it makes it easier for people to go right onto the CBDC system. Maybe that's the hidden agenda behind that. No, you're going to make infinite debt and roll it all up in a nice little bow when you switch to a CBDC because why not? I feel the Fed wants to get on a CBDC wants to roll one out. Because look at the debt that we're in right now. Look at the world debt. I'm sure every country wants a reset at this point. They call it the Great Reset. It's great for them, but terrible for us. U.S. Treasury activates another maneuver to avoid breaching debt limit. Now, I feel this is a last-ditch effort. I feel the Treasury is in major trouble. The G Fund maneuver is one of the largest tools that the Treasury can employ to reclaim borrowing capacity under the debt ceiling. The fund, part of the Thrift Savings Plan for federal employees, had net assets of $210.9 billion at the end of 2021, according to its most recent annual report. Normally, the money market like retirement fund reinvests its entire balance daily into special issue Treasury securities that count against the debt limit. Halting the reinvestments allows more normal Treasury bills, notes, and bonds to be issued. So even the Treasury is at their last wit's end. They're trying to come up with a way to just stay afloat at this point. I feel a major financial crisis is on the horizon. China criticizes U.S. for debt ceiling, makes accusations of sabotage. And I feel that right now, China is looking at the U.S. as being very weak. That's why they're coming after the U.S. dollar right now, because now is the perfect time to do it. And I feel we are still in a major currency war right now. This may or may not have something to do with the looming liquidity crisis. Breaking 80 plus stocks have just been halted due to volatility. Names include MCD, SHOP, WMT, PLTR, and more. This all happened within 10 minutes of the stock market's open. And you could see what's going on. Layoffs all over the big tech companies and in other places as well. You know, they keep saying the country's in better shape than it was a year ago. I'm not seeing it. People are working 2 and 3 jobs just to make ends meet and to fight off inflation. The U.S. acknowledges that defaulting on its debts would cause a global financial crisis. The pitcher went to the source many times. Now, the U.S. knows that our debt is a major problem, but we never plan on paying back that debt in any way. In fact, we're creating more debt. They're racing to the bottom of the current financial system. What comes next is a new financial system, and this is about to happen. XRP, the phoenix will rise from the ashes. I feel every country in the world at some point is going to need that on-demand liquidity. That's why when I invest in XRP, I'm investing in the utility behind it. I know where the value is. Right from day one, the day I invested my first dollar into XRP, I said, this is going to be something incredible in the future. And that's why I will always continue to hold it. I always tell you, hold on to your XRP for dear life because it's going to set you financially free in the future. It's just a matter of time and how long you can continue holding it. If you hold it long enough, it's only going to grow in value. I always said it, XRP and Ripple is going to take business away from Swift year over year, adding value to XRP. And even if it becomes a high valued stablecoin of the future, again, it's still going to make you rich. That's where XRP is headed. That's where we are headed as XRP holders. Like I always tell you in a lot of my videos, let's get to the finish line. Let's get rich together. With that said, I'm going to wrap up this video. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you watching my videos. We'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.